Episode 3 of Dark left us reeling. Mikkel vanished into thin air, only to wake up in 1986, trapped in a past he doesn't understand. But what happens next takes the mystery even deeper. In Episode 4, secrets start to unravel, new connections emerge, and we begin to see just how twisted Winden's timelines really are. Let's break it all down, step by step. We open with an unseen narrator asking a haunting question. What really lies behind a black hole? Do the things that pass through truly vanish, or do they become trapped in an endless cycle, where space and time fold in on each other? He even wonders, could the future itself be shaping the past? Inside the Doppler household in 2019, we see a furious Franziska accusing her younger sister Elizabeth, who communicates only in sign language, of stealing her lipstick. Their bond is complicated. They care for each other, but Elizabeth loves to stir trouble, especially at Franziska's expense. Unlike the rest of Winden, Elizabeth isn't shaken by Mikkel's disappearance. She always saw him as a bit of a show-off. Meanwhile, Jonas pores over the cave map he discovered in his father's studio. Determined to uncover what Michael was searching for, he sets off toward the caves, unaware that the stranger is watching his every move. Elsewhere, Peter visits his father, Helge Doppler, who's now living in the Winden rest home, and, well, lost in the fog of dementia. Helge mutters these cryptic warnings, saying he has to tell him it must all stop, which honestly leaves Peter feeling pretty shaken and confused. Over and over, Helge just keeps repeating this eerie chant, tick-tock, tick-tock. Meanwhile, Charlotte drives Elizabeth to the school for the deaf. On the way, she spots a roadside wildlife camera and quietly pulls out its memory card. And, yeah, Elizabeth instantly calls out what she's doing as stealing. But at school, Elizabeth is soon distracted playfully meeting up with her so-called boyfriend, Yasin Friese. Meanwhile, over at the police station, Charlotte is overseeing the autopsy of one of the dead birds found on November 5th. Pathologist Edda Hyman points out some pretty disturbing anomalies in the bird's body, the same strange features Charlotte remembers witnessing 33 years earlier. For her, the pattern is just undeniable. This isn't random. History is repeating itself, and all the mysteries plaguing Winden are somehow bound together. Though for now, the answers are still just out of reach. So, back at her office, Charlotte loads up the memory card she took from that roadside camera. She narrows the search to the night Mikkel disappeared. That's between 9:30 and 10:30 p.m. The footage shows something really troubling. Peter's Volvo caught on camera at exactly 9:30. Meanwhile, Peter is anxiously brushing red soil from his car mat, and it's the same type of soil found on the unidentified boy discovered on November 4th. Feeling suspicious, Charlotte calls him. She presses him about where he actually was on the night Mikkel vanished. Peter just kinda stammers out excuses, but Charlotte instantly sees through his lies. After a totally fruitless exploration of the caves, Jonas decides to head home. But then he notices a red knot tied to his bike's handlebar, a cryptic sign left behind by the stranger. Over at the rest home, Helge mutters this really ominous mantra. The beginning is the end, and the end is the beginning. But when he overhears gossip about the dead boy with burnt eyes, he just slips away unnoticed and wanders into the forest. Charlotte, still chasing answers, heads to the Doppler family's hunting cabin. There, tire tracks covered in red dirt catch her eye. Soon after, she receives a call from Edda. The birds weren't just mutated, their eardrums had burst. At her hearing this disturbing detail, Charlotte enters the decaying bunker nearby, lit only by rusting lamps and pipes. The tension rises when Alexander Tiedemann calls, informing her that Ulrich Nielsen has been caught trespassing at the nuclear power plant. Meanwhile, Elizabeth finishes her classes and lingers outside the school. After experimenting with Franziska's lipstick, she wanders off. Charlotte later picks up a bruised Ulrich from the plant. On the drive, Ulrich breaks down, raging that his son is gone, that he's being punished, and that no one is helping because Mikkel wasn't their child. In the pouring rain, he demands Charlotte drop him off, and she does. But then comes the call no parent wants. Peter frantically tells Charlotte that Elizabeth never waited at school. She's missing. Racing down a forest road, Charlotte finds her daughter's fox-shaped knit cap abandoned in the dirt. At home, she and Peter spiral into panic as the police comb the woods. Hours later, relief washes over them. Elizabeth returns safely, but her story chills Charlotte to the bone. Elizabeth signs that she met a man named Noah, who gifted her a golden pocket watch, one that used to belong to Charlotte herself. Inside, the engraving reads, "For Charlotte." Before they can process, Peter gets another call. Helgi has been found wandering the woods. At dawn, the stranger slips into the Kahnwald home. While Jonas sleeps, he takes the cave map and scribbles something cryptic before placing it back. Over this, we hear the narrator's voice. People always long to know their fate, but the truth is, every step has already been written. In the nursing home, Helge wakes and urgently tells Nurse Clara he must stop Noah. At the same time, Yasin, walking alone through the forest, encounters the cloaked figure. The man steps from the shadows, telling Yasin he's been sent by Noah. Thanks for giving us your precious time, and we hope you will keep on doing so. Until then, goodbye and take care.